This is a very common question, and the confusion is understandable. Both movements are Christian, both have strong roots in the United States, and both are active worldwide today. But when you look closely at their history, beliefs, worship style, and structure, they are clearly different. The Seventh Day Adventist Church began in the United States in the mid-1800s. It grew out of the Millerite movement, which focused on the study of Bible prophecy and the expected return of Jesus Christ. After the Great Disappointment of 1844, a group of believers reorganized their beliefs, and from that process, the Adventist movement emerged. One of the most important features of the Seventh-day Adventist Church is its emphasis on the seventh-day Sabbath. Adventists worship on Saturday, which they believe is the biblical Sabbath established at creation and reinforced in the Ten Commandments. This alone already sets them apart from most Pentecostal churches, which worship on Sunday. Pentecostalism, on the other hand, began much later, in the early 1900s. Its roots are often traced to the Azusa Street revival in Los Angeles. Pentecostal churches focus strongly on spiritual gifts, especially speaking in tongues, prophecy, healing, and dramatic spiritual experiences. Seventh-day Adventists do not place the same emphasis on speaking in tongues or ecstatic worship. Their church services are usually calm, structured, and teaching-focused. The sermon, Bible reading, and practical instruction are central parts of Adventist worship. Pentecostal churches are known for lively services. You often see loud music, spontaneous prayer, clapping, dancing, and emotional expressions. Many Pentecostals believe that speaking in tongues is a key sign of being filled with the Holy Spirit. Adventists believe in the work of the Holy Spirit, but they interpret spiritual gifts differently. They emphasize spiritual growth, obedience to God's commandments, and preparation for the second coming of Christ, rather than emotional or dramatic spiritual manifestations. Another major difference is theology. Seventh-day Adventists place a strong focus on health, lifestyle, and holistic living. They promote vegetarian diets, avoid alcohol and tobacco, and encourage physical and mental well-being as part of spiritual life. Most Pentecostal churches do not have an official health message like this. While many Pentecostals encourage moral living, they generally do not teach specific dietary rules as part of salvation or spiritual discipline. The Adventist Church is also known for its global education and healthcare systems. It runs thousands of schools, universities, hospitals, and clinics around the world. This institutional structure is a core part of Adventist identity. Pentecostal churches are usually more independent. Many operate as individual ministries or loose networks rather than a single, highly organized global system. Leadership styles can vary widely from one Pentecostal church to another. Another key difference is how each group understands prophecy. Seventh-day Adventists are deeply rooted in prophetic interpretation, especially the books of Daniel and Revelation. Their beliefs about the end times are systematic and detailed. Pentecostals also believe in the second coming of Christ, but they usually do not focus as heavily on detailed prophetic timelines. Their teaching is more centered on personal spiritual experience and daily Christian living. It is also important to note that the Seventh-day Adventist Church started in America, but it is no longer an American-centered church. Today, most Adventists live outside the United States, especially in Africa, Latin America, and parts of Asia. Pentecostalism has also spread globally and grown rapidly, especially in Africa and Latin America, but its identity remains closely tied to revival movements and charismatic worship styles. Some people confuse Adventists with Pentecostals because both groups emphasize evangelism, missionary work, and personal commitment to faith. From the outside, these similarities can make them seem related. However, historically, doctrinally, and culturally, they are not the same. Seventh-day Adventists are not Pentecostals, and Pentecostals are not Adventists. They belong to different streams of Christianity that developed at different times for different reasons. So, to be very clear, the Seventh-day Adventist Church is an American-born Christian denomination, but it is not an American Pentecostal church. It has its own unique beliefs, practices, and identity that set it apart. In conclusion, understanding these differences helps clear up confusion and promotes better conversations about faith. Christianity is diverse, and each group brings its own perspective, history, and emphasis to the larger story. Knowing where each church comes from helps us understand why they believe and worship the way they do. If you enjoyed this explanation and found it helpful, don't forget to stay curious, keep learning, and continue exploring topics like this. Thanks for listening. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.